अनंत आनंद हरि नाम रे, अनंत आनंद हरि नाम रे, हरि गुण गावो हरि नाम गावो. मनन जपन करो हरि नाम रे, मनन जपन करो हरि नाम रे, श्रवण स्मरण करो हरि नाम रे, मनन जपन करो हरि नाम रे, श्रवण स्मरण करो हरि नाम रे. मनन जपन करो हरि नाम रे, श्रवण स्मरण करो हरि नाम रे. हरि ओम भजो रे सदा, हरि ओम भजो रे सदा, हरि ओम भजो रे सदा, हरि गुण गावो हरि नाम गावो, अनंत आनंद हरि नाम रे, अनंत आनंद हरि नाम रे, हरि गुण गावो हरि नाम गावो, हरि गुण गावो हरि नाम गावो, हरि नाम गावो हरि नाम.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति.
So Shabarimala season is in progress. December, January season is Shabarimala season normally. So this is the time when millions of devotees, they take up this 41 days of vrata, the austerity, and then finally they travel, they take up a journey towards Shabarimala to have the darshan of the Lord Ayyappa. Now we are all travelers. Who are we? We are all travelers. So when we say we are a traveler must have a destination. A traveler must have a vehicle to travel. A traveler must have a road to travel, isn't it? So what is the destination unto which we are all traveling? So we say, asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. So our traveling is from asat to sat, from illusion to reality. Tamas to jyoti, from darkness to light, and mrityorma amrutam, from mrityu to amrutam, from mortality to immortality. So this is our journey, from darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge, from misery to bliss. This is the way we are traveling. From the state of Jivatma to the state of Paramatma. This is the travel. And now what is the vehicle in which we are traveling? So Kathopanishad says, Atmanam rathinam vidhi, shariram rathamevatu, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, manaf pragrahamevacha, indriyani hayanahuhu, vishayansteshu gocharan, atmendriya manoyuktam bhokta iti ahuhu manishinaha. So what he said, Atmanam rathinam vidhi. So we are all traveling in a chariot. We are the owners of this chariot. This physical body is the cabinet in that chariot. The charioteer is the intellect. The reins are the mind. The horses are the sense organs. The path is the sense object. And this way we are traveling. So we are all travelers. So now this traveling is symbolically represented by the travel we take up to Shabarimala to have the darshan of the Lord Ayyappa. So now, the first thing a person does if he is desirous of going to Shabarimala is he goes and meets a Guru Swami. This is the first step. So who is a Guru Swami? Guru Swami is a person who has already gone to Shabarimala very many times. So he has a thorough understanding of the whole travel, because this travel is very difficult. So he knows the rituals, he knows the disciplines, he knows what has to be done there. And so therefore this is a person whom you can trust, who can safely take you there and safely bring you back. So therefore this person who wants to go to Shabarimala, he goes to a Guru Swami and then takes initiation from this Guru. Now this approaching a Guru Swami is also very symbolic. This spiritual path is a very difficult path. It's a narrow path. It's a subtle path. It's a dangerous path. In Kathopanishad, it is said, Kshurasya dhara nishita durateya durgam pathas tat kavayo vadanti. This spiritual path is like walking over the edge of a sharpened razor. So how difficult it is. Durgam patah, it is a very difficult path. So therefore, a guidance from a Guru is absolutely necessary. So this is the symbolic meaning of approaching a Guru Swami. A Guru's guidance is absolutely necessary in this path. So in that Shabarimala also, to reach that Shabarimala, they say it's very difficult. Once upon a time, now they have made it very easy. Once upon a time, it was very difficult because it was a thick jungle infested with all kinds of wild animals. And the path was also difficult, full of stones and thorns, etc. And the climb is also steep. So there is no guarantee that this person will reach the temple and come back. Such was the case long back. So therefore, this guidance of this Guru Swami was absolutely essential. So now, when this person goes to this Guru Swami, as Venuji has rightly said, Shastratnyopi Swatantrena Brahmanveshanam na kurya. Now this is a statement made by Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji in one of his commentaries. You may be a great scholar. Shastratnya means you may be a great Sanskrit scholar. But swatantrena, independently, never do Brahmanveshanam. Never inquire into the nature of the truth. Because there is all the possibility you will misunderstand the whole thing and mess up the whole thing. So guidance of the teacher is absolutely essential. And this is what Bhagavad Gītā also says. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Know this great reality by bowing down to the teacher, approach him, serve him, and ask questions in all humility. And these knowledgeable people, they will instruct you in this path. So Bhagavad Gītā also tells the same thing. As I said, Kathopanishad, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata, it is said. Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Approach the wise people, the great ones, and gain this knowledge. So all the scriptures are unanimous regarding this. So we must approach Guru. And this is symbolically represented as approaching a Guru Swami. Now what will this Guru Swami do? He will initiate you into this path. So what is this initiation? So he will give you a black cloth, generally a black cloth, black or blue or whatever. This is the cloth which you have to wear for the next 41 days. Then he will give you the mantra to be chanted. And what is the mantra? Swami Sharanam Ayyappa. And he will give you a mala also, with which you have to do the japa. Some Tulsi mala or Rudraksha mala or whatever. Now what is the mantra? Swami Sharanam Ayyappa. This is the mantra to be chanted. Swami, O Lord, you are my master, you are my Swami. Sharanam, I prostrate unto you, I surrender unto you. O Lord, throughout my life I have done this big mistake. I was my own boss. I lived according to my likes and dislikes. But from now onwards, my life will not be guided by me, the ego in me. My life will be guided by you. Surrendering means this. Sharanāgati means this. My life will be guided by you means what? Whatever you like, whatever which pleases you, I will do that. This is the meaning Sharanam. So from now on, my life will not be ego-guided life. My life will be God-guided life. Divinely guided. So whatever is right, I will do it. Whatever pleases you, I will do it. So my life will be a God-oriented, God-guided life. This is the meaning Sharanam. Now this Sharanam is the most important thing, and the essence of the entire Bhagavad Gītā is nothing but the Sharanāgati only. Again and again, in every chapter, if there is one thing which is mentioned, Bhagavan says, surrender unto me. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo moksheshyami māsucha. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. So everywhere the message is Sharanagati. Manmana bhava, madbhakto bhava, madhyaji, mam namaskuru. So everywhere you will find in Bhagavad Gītā, Sharanagati is the most important thing which is highlighted. So Swami Sharanam Ayyappa means from now onwards, O Lord, you are my master, you are my guide. In Bhagavad Gītā also, if you see, as long as Bhagavan had not taken the charge, Arjuna was crying and weeping. So first chapter is all about Arjuna's crying and weeping, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. In second chapter, then Bhagavan takes control. So in our life also, everything becomes wonderful when the Lord takes control. Lord becomes in charge of our life. So that is represented by Bhagavan Sri Krishna becoming the charioteer of Arjuna. Who decides the destination of a chariot? The destination of a chariot is decided by the charioteer, isn't it? The route, destination, everything is decided by the charioteer. So that symbolic representation is this. Bhagavan Sri Krishna becomes the charioteer of Arjuna. So in the same way, Bhagavan should become our charioteer also. Intellect is guided. Who should guide our intellect? Bhagavan should guide our intellect. Meaning, the scripture should guide our intellect. Guru should guide our intellect. This way. Right. So, Swami Sharanam Ayyappa. Now, what is this Ayyappa? Appa means father. So, Ayyappa means what? Supreme Father, Divine Father, the ultimate Father. Father means cause. Karanam. Cause. So, who is this cause? He is the ultimate cause, the causeless cause. Cause, effect. In this world we find. So, parents are the cause, children are the effect. Parents are the karanam, children are the karyam. So, who has to respect whom? Karyam should respect the karanam. All our elders also, we call them karanavar, isn't it? Karanavar means people because of whom we are here. They are the cause and we are the effects. So Ayyappa means the Supreme Father, the Divine Father, Holy Father. Now, I'm sure you all must be knowing the story of Ayyappa also. In that, one story in that mythology is something which is, we have to discuss that. So what is that? So what is the purpose for which Ayyappa was born? So the purpose, they say, is that there was this demoness named Mahishi. So this demoness with a, what you call, buffalo faced, she conquers heaven. So this is how the story goes. She conquers the heaven and chases away Indra. So like all the other Puranic stories, the Indras and other Devatas, they rush to Brahmaji, says, "Oh Lord, save us. This demoness is creating a lot of problem. So please save us." So then Brahmaji says, there is only one way in which she can be killed. Only a Harihara Putra can kill her. A child born out of the union of Shiva and Vishnu alone can kill this demoness. So therefore you will have to go to Lord Shiva, request him, because he only has to take the initiative. He is in that samadhi state, etc. So all those stories. Now here, the way people describe these stories, Shiva fell in love with Mohini. He was infatuated by the beauty of Mohini, and thus Ayyappa was born, etc., etc. Now please understand, these are all the versions of the sensuous people when they read the scriptures. We have to understand who is Lord Shiva. He is Kamari or Kama Dahana. That is the name of Lord Shiva. So all the stories you know. With the third eye, he burnt Kamadeva. The third eye of wisdom. That is, eye is called eye of wisdom. So with that wisdom, he burnt Kamadeva. Means what? See, who is the Lord? Lord cannot be somebody who is a slave of Kama and Krodha. Lord is somebody who is a master of Kama and Krodha, isn't it? So Lord Shiva is a person who has conquered his mind, and that's why he dances in that cremation ground with Kapola, etc. Kapola means skull. This is how Shiva is portrayed, with bhasma all over the body, ashes all over the body. He is doing Tandava Nritya in the cremation ground. Now what does it mean? What it means is he is a person who has understood that this physical body is nothing but ashes. A person who has known death truly in its essence. So any beautiful physical body cannot attract him, because he knows that any body is nothing but ashes. So to say that Lord Shiva was attracted by this beautiful form of Mohini and then in that infatuation, all these are, we have to understand as seekers, wrong misinterpretation of the scriptures. So who is the master? No, Lord is the master of everything. So naturally, he is the master of Kama and Krodha also. So when do you say you are a master? You say you are a master when you use a certain things at your own will, isn't it? For example, I have a pen. So whenever I want to write, I use the pen, I write. And then after that, what do? I keep that pen back. In the same way, there are times when Kama and Krodha has to be used for the welfare of the society. Because the purpose of Lord is only one. Dharma samsthapana is the purpose. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So the purpose of the Lord is only one, dharma samsthapana. For that, he will make use of all these instruments called Kama and Krodha. Like for example, Krodha was used by Lord Narasimha to kill that Hiranyakashipu. He used that Krodha, and once the job was done, he kept back that Krodha in his pocket. In the same way, Lord Shiva, when he understood that yes, for the welfare and well-being of the cosmos, it is necessary that a child should be born, because that is the boon which she had gained, this Mahishi had gained. So therefore, a child has to be born. So therefore, Lord Shiva makes use of Kama in order to bring this child called Ayyappa. So this way we have to understand. Making use of, you are not a slave of Kama. In fact, Kama is your slave. Now this is the meaning. Making use of Kama for the sake of Dharma Samsthapana. So this way we have to understand. Yes. So after that, Ayyappa was born, and then Ayyappa then kills this Mahishi. Now, who is this Mahishi? Now, symbolic meaning also we have to understand. So this buffalo-headed. Now, Mahishi is none other than our own ego. Let us understand this. Mahishi is not some Mahishi somewhere. It's a beautiful story, that's okay. But the whole story is nothing but the play that is happening in our own mind. So who is Mahishi? Mahishi is none other than our own ego. So how to kill this Mahishi? Because this is our greatest enemy. So what did this Mahishi do? She chases away Indra and she rules Swarga. Now who is this? What is this Swarga? Swarga is none other than this heart space. The heart in us is called Swarga. And who is this Indra? Now Indra, if you see, the word meaning Indra means prosperity, glory, power. This is the meaning, Indra. So Indra actually means the name of the Lord. So that is why all our sense organs are called Indriya. So this Indriya has come from Indra. So what is Indriya? The sense organs. What does it do? It shows us the Lord. So what is Indriya's definition? That which makes us aware of the glory of the Lord, the power of the Lord, the splendor of the Lord, the greatness of the Lord. That is what is called as Indriya. So with our eyes and ears, what do we see? We see this infinite world. So what is this infinite world? This world is the glory of the Lord. So that with which we are aware, we become aware of the glory of the Lord is called Indriya. So therefore, Indra has to be understood as this. It is the name of the Lord actually. So what have we done in our foolishness, in our ignorance? This Mahishi is now ruling our heart. Mahishi has done what? It has chased away the Lord who is supposed to rule our heart. And now Mahishi is ruling us. The ego is ruling us. Now this Mahishi can be killed only by Harihara Putra. Means what? These combination we have to do in our sadhana in order to destroy this ego. The combination of Hari and Hara, Vishnu and Shiva. Who is Shiva? He is the destroyer. Shiva is known as the Lord of Destruction. So on one side, we will have to destroy this ego through selfless service, etc. On the other side, Vishnu has to be invoked. What is Vishnu? The knowledge of the self. So two sadhanas have to be done. On one side, we must gain the knowledge of the self. On the other side, we must efface this ego in us through selfless service, devotion, etc. So both of them are necessary. Both the sadhana has to be done. That's why Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Ahamapetakam nija vibhanakam mahadidam tapo ramanavagyam. Mahat tapas is what? You have to do two things. Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam. A sadhana where the ego has to die, ego has to be effaced, and on the other side, the self has to shine forth. Together, ego can be destroyed. Both are necessary. Knowledge of the self and destruction of this ego through selfless service, etc. So then what is born? Ayyappa is born. Ayyappa is born in our heart. So this is the spiritual meaning of this whole story. Right. Now coming back. Swami Sharanam Ayyappa. So this is the mantra. O Lord, I surrender unto you. So we bow down to this Guru Swami. We get initiation from this Guru Swami. And then we start our sadhana. So this black cloth is given to us. Now this also is symbolic. What is this black color? What does this color represent? Black always means death only. Black is always death. Black means destruction. So when a Swami, Ayyappa Swami, he wears this black cloth, what it means is now for the next 41 days, he has to be dead to himself. This is the point. He has to live like a sannyasi, a temporary sannyasi. 41 days means what? Temporary sannyasi. So, but then why ochre color is not given? Ochre color is not given just to prevent confusion in the society. Because when everyone wears ochre color, then it becomes very difficult to know who is a permanent sannyasi, who is a temporary sannyasi. It becomes very difficult. So therefore, black color is given. Let there be no confusion in the society. So black means what? Death. Death of what? Death of one's own ego. So now for the next 41 days, we have to be dead to ourselves. This reminder to oneself. It is not to make others remember. No, it is to make ourselves remember that this is what I am going to do for the next 41 days. Right. Now, how should such a person live his life? So now from that time onwards, it is said, an Ayyappa Swami, that person is called Ayyappa Swami. For the next 41 days, how should he see the world? So it is said, he must see every living being as a manifestation of Ayyappa. Everyone should be seen as an embodiment of the Lord. Now this is the sadhana he has to perform. Everyone. So therefore, when you start seeing God in everyone, in what way will we behave to others? So our behavior will be sweet, nice, loving, forgiving, compassionate, non-hurting. This is the way we are supposed to behave with others once we become an Ayyappa Swami. And can you eat non-veg food? Impossible, because non-veg means killing, harming, hurting, not allowed. Jagata Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam. This is the way we have to live. Jagata Ishadhi Yukta. What is this world? This world is nothing but the manifestation of God. This is how we have to develop the vision. And then, as far as the physical body is concerned, minimum attention to the physical body. So therefore, it is said, Ayyappa Swami is not supposed to cut his hair. He is not supposed to shave his beard. He is not supposed to cut his nail also. Now, these are all reminders for us. What is a reminder? That this body's destination is cremation ground. My destination is not cremation ground. A day will come when this body has to go to cremation ground. And that's why they apply this bhasma also. Ash. It is a constant reminder to ourselves that one day will come when this body will be carried by people. Ram Nam Satya hai, and there it will become ash. My destination should not be that. If we are identified with the body, what will be our destination? Our destination also will be cremation ground only. Our destination is Vaikuntha, not cremation ground. So to remind ourselves that let me not get attached to this body. So this hair is grown, whenever you see beard and all that, suddenly a question, why did I keep this beard? I kept this beard for a purpose. Now this is the purpose. Nowadays, once upon a time, we had only beauty parlor for the ladies. Nowadays, for men also beauty parlors have come. The point is this, we are so attached to this body, body worship has become the purpose of life. That is a kind of age we are going through now. Pampering the body, worshipping the body, doing everything for the body, and there is nothing else, no other goal in life other than the body. This is the way we are all living. So this particular sadhana of allowing the hair to grow, allowing the beard to grow, applying, ashes all over. So this again and again reminds us the purpose of life. Minimum attention to the body. Whatever basic needs are there, fulfill it. And then forget about the body. You are not the body. You have a greater purpose to achieve through the body. So this reminder is this growing hair, etc. And then what else? Conquering the inner enemies like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, Raga, Dvesha, Ahankara, Mamakara. This is the main purpose of sadhana, conquering the inner enemies. So now I am not paying too much of attention on the body. I am paying attention what is happening inside the mind. This becomes our main attention during sadhana. Winning over the internal enemies. These are the real enemies. So with the help of the Lord, surrendering unto the Lord, gaining strength from the Lord, I fight against the negativities of my mind. Otherwise, it is just impossible to fight the negativities. It is just impossible. So we have to gain the strength from the Lord and fight this enemy. That is the symbolic representation of, that Vali and Sugriva Yuddha also. Sugriva can never conquer Vali. Vali can be conquered only by Bhagavan. But then fight we have to do. There is no other choice. We have to fight, but the conquering will be done by the Lord. So holding on to the Lord, we have to win over all these enemies. Right. And now here again, an Ayyappa Swami is supposed to live, in minimum, with minimum comforts. So it is said he is not supposed to wear slippers. He is not supposed to use pillow. He is not supposed to use bed. He must lie down on the, floor. Minimum physical comforts. So what is the point here? The point here is this. In life, real happiness doesn't come from Vishaya. Real happiness comes from Atma only. So the focus is not on Vishayananda. The focus is upon Atmananda. True happiness comes from Atma. So therefore, we minimize all our bodily comforts and revel in that higher joy, the spiritual joy. We are not supposed to use alcohol or smoking, drinking, drugs. They are all banned. Why is it banned? Because they are all destructive pleasures of life. Bhagavan has blessed us with such a healthy body. This body has a great noble divine purpose, and the purpose is to attain the ultimate goal of life, which is liberation. So if I am destroying this body through these drinks and drugs, it is actually dishonoring the gift of the Lord, wrongly using the gift of the Lord. In fact, it is a sin because I am disrespecting this gift of the Lord. So therefore, all these things are banned. Again, an Ayyappa Swami is supposed to cook his own food. Now, this is also very beautiful. It's a very nice, what you call, a discipline for ourselves. Why should we cook our food? Number one, see, Ayyappa Swami's attitude is, I am the servant of everyone. This is his attitude. Dasasya dasosmyaham. At least during that 41 days, I don't want myself to be a master of anyone. So when somebody is cooking food for me, indirectly that person becomes my servant and I am the master. So let me cook food for myself. Meaning, I am the servant who is there to serve everyone. So whether it is cooking food or washing clothes, I do it myself. Because according to me, in my own eyes, I am a most insignificant servant of the Lord. A servant never, asks somebody to do his work. No, he does it himself. So this is one. To develop that dasa bhavana. Bhagavan, I am your servant. And I am the servant of all your devotees also. This is the attitude. So I cook food for myself. Also, cooking food for myself, there is another thing. It is independence. So in this world, all of us, we have come all alone. And from this world, we die all alone. So journey is all alone. Alone to the alone, all alone is the journey. People may be there around us. Fine, you may take help, etc. But remember, the spiritual path is all alone. Nobody can help anyone else. We have to walk our own path. So we have to be independent. That's why we have to cook our own food. Now, there is another reason also why we have to cook our own food. Food has something to do with the state of the mind also. So there are 3 types of food mentioned in Bhagavad Gītā. Sattvic food, Rajasic food, Tamasic food. So if you are cooking your own food, you can choose what kind of food. Because if somebody else cooks, he will cook according to his likes and dislikes. So what kind of food is best for people who are doing sadhana? Sattvic food is the best. Ayu sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasya snigdha sthira hridyaha ahara sattvika priyaha. Ahara sattvika priyaha. So this definition comes in Bhagavad Gītā. So food which is easily digestible, which is tasty, which is free from all kinds of, masalas and oil, etc. And which is good for health also, which does not bring any kind of disease. Such a food is a sattvic food. And for sadhana, such food is very much essential, because only then the mind will cooperate with you while doing sadhana. Then there is this rajasic food. Kat tvamla lavanatyushna tikshna ruksha vidahinah. Now, even when you hear it, you can make out what kind of food it is. All spicy food, too much of salt, too much of what you call that, khara, spicy, oily. So it is said, dukkha shokamaya pradaha. This kind of food, it will give you dukkha, shoka and amaya, all the 3. So when you are eating also, eyes are filled with tears. Nose also starts, nose, eyes, everything. It's very nice, very nice, This person is burning and he says it's very nice. So while eating also it is dukkham. After eating it is shokam. You say, ayyo, I shouldn't have eaten. And what is the long-term consequence? Amayam. Amayam means what? Disease. When you eat all these kinds of spicy, oily food too much, what is the end result? End result is disease. So Rajasic food, definitely we must avoid. Then there is Tamasic food. Yatayamam, Gatarasam, Bhuti Paryushitam, all this putrefying, stale food, all this kind of bad smell and all comes. So that kind of food also we must avoid. So tamasic food, when we eat, we feel sleepy. We will have no interest in doing any kind of sadhana. Rajasic food, when we eat, the mind becomes highly rajasic, disturbed, agitated. Again, it becomes difficult to do sadhana. So sattvic food has to be eaten. So when we cook food for ourselves, we can choose what kind of food we have to eat. So minimum spices, etc. It is a very great help to do sadhana. So this is another discipline which Ayyappa Swami has to follow, cooking one's own food. Right. Now what else is there? I think I have covered everything. So this way, this person does sadhana for 41 days. And you yourself can feel the difference, when you are living a life of sense control, minimizing your sense indulgences. And of course, he has to be a brahmachari also, celibate. So what are you doing? You are conserving your energy on one side, and you are applying this energy for a higher purpose. So there are two things, conservation and channelization. And naturally, you will find joy, spiritual joy, bubbling in your heart. You can really feel the difference. Within few days itself, you can feel the difference. You can feel that spiritual joy in you. The more seriously we practice all these sadhanas, the more clearly we understand this joy, emerging in our heart. So this way, he lives these 41 days, and now he becomes fit to have the darshana of Ayyappa. Now this is the qualification necessary to experience the presence of the Lord in our heart. Control of the senses, control over the mind, and fixing the mind upon the Supreme Lord. Now this Ayyappa Swami is supposed to visit temples also, nearby temples every day. So temple has got an environment where mind gets automatically elevated to spirituality. So that is why this sadhana is also prescribed, visiting the nearby temples. Right. And finally, this person takes up this journey. So along with Guru Swami and all the others, they take up this journey. Now and they have this Irumudi cut also. There's a thing which the Guru Swami gives to this person. So before taking up this journey, there is an Irumudi cut, that bundle. So now in this bundle, there are two bundles. One is Munmudi, the other is Pinmudi. Two bundles are there. The front bundle and the back bundle. So what is this front bundle? In this front bundle, you have everything meant for the Lord. So after reaching there, you have to offer it to the Lord. So all that which is meant for the Lord, you will have it in front bundle. And one main thing in that front bundle is one coconut, which is totally cleaned inside and which is filled with ghee, clarified butter. Now this is also symbolic. What is the symbolism here? This physical body is like coconut. So we have Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karna Sharira. I hope you understand all these terms. In the same way, coconut also has got three things, outer shell, hard shell, inside that white cream, again liquid. So one is Sthula, then Sukshma, then Karana. And then there is a space also inside. This space represents this Atma, the Supreme Self. So what do? We clean this coconut from inside and fill it with ghee. In the same way, we are supposed to fill ourselves with all noble, purifying thoughts. We have to purify ourselves. What is purification? Purification is by entertaining noble divine thoughts. Filling this coconut with ghee means what? Now, ghee is considered very auspicious. You know why it is auspicious? Ghee comes from milk. Milk is something perishable. Curd is also perishable. Now this ghee, pure ghee, is considered imperishable. It doesn't get, putrefied. You can keep it for days together. So this pure self is also like that, imperishable. The pure self in us, this pure consciousness is also imperishable. So therefore, ghee is considered very auspicious. And that is why we offer it in, homa, etc. Homa, havana, when we perform, ghee is offered. It's considered auspicious. So we fill this coconut with ghee, plug that eye through which you have poured, plug that eye, and now this coconut is taken to offer to the temple. So this is the front bundle. Now the back bundle is full of things which we use for our personal use. So back bundle is for us. Now this has to be carried on your head. Now that is also symbolic. Why is it carried on the head? The front bundle is carried on the head because in this body, what is the most sacred part in this body? Head is the most sacred part, isn't it? So whatever we have to offer it to God, where will you keep? You will keep on the most sacred part of your body, which is head. That's why we prostrate unto Guru also. We keep our head at the feet of the teacher. The highest part of this body should touch the lowest part of the Guru, this way. Again, the back bundle also is carried on our head only. Now, what is that? What does that signify? So we are saying, oh Lord, whatever karma I have done, I alone am responsible. So I am taking up the responsibility of all the miseries of my life. This is called the bundle of karma, that the bundle at the back, Pinmudi. Bhagavan, nobody else is responsible in life for all my miseries. I alone am responsible because these are all the karmas done by myself. So I take the responsibility. That is the meaning, keeping on the head. So with this bundle on the head, this person takes up the journey towards Shabarimala. And finally, once we reach there, there is a Padinettam, but that 18 steps are there, isn't it? Now these 18 steps are also symbolic. So what are these 18 steps? Two versions are there. The first version is 18 steps means 5 Jnanendriyas, then Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, plus Asuya, plus Dambha, 8. So 5 plus 8, 13. Then Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, 16. Then Vidya, Avidya. 16 plus 2, 18. Pancha Jnanendriyas, Shadvairis, plus Asuya Dambha, so 8, 5 plus 8, 13. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, 16. Vidya, Avidya, 18. Now what is this? So here we are transcending. So climbing the step means transcending our weaknesses, transcending the negativities in us, we can say. So the first one is Pancha Jnanendriyas. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. We are all stuck in this Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. As beautifully our Bhagavan Shankaracharya says. Kuranga, Matanga, Patanga, Meena, Bhrunga. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So he gives the example. Kuranga means what? Kuranga means deer, not monkey. It's deer. So what is deer? Shabda. Deer is trapped by playing beautiful music, it seems. In the forest, etc., they play some beautiful music, hunters, and then these deers are attracted and then they catch them. So Kuranga is attracted towards Shabda. Matanga. Matanga means elephant. So elephant is trapped, they say, by keeping another she elephant. And that is how. So Shabda Sparsha, elephant is trapped by Sparsha. Then Rupa, Kuranga, Matanga, Patanga. Patanga means moth. So this moth, when they see the beautiful flames of the fire, they enter and they burn themselves. So that is Shabda Sparsha Rupa. Rupa means form. Kuranga, Matanga, Patanga. Then Meena. Meena means fish. How do you trap fish? Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa, taste. So the bait is put and this fish catches the bait and the fish is caught. And then Bhrunga. Bhrunga means bees. How these bees get trapped? Gandha. So bees, they get that fragrance of this flower and they sit on this flower, lotus, etc. So by evening the lotus closes and these bees, they get trapped inside the lotus and they die. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, all these beings, just because they are a slave of one sense organ, they died. What to talk of human beings who is a slave of all the five sense organs? This is what Bhagavan says. So the first 5 step means what? Winning over our addictions towards all these 5. These 5. Then Kama, lust, Krodha, anger, Lobha, greed, Moha, infatuation, Mada, arrogance, Matsarya. Matsarya here means that tendency to compete with others and compare with others. Matsarya, Matsara Bhava. Matsara means competition. The tendency to compare myself with others and compete with others. This is called as Matsara, Matsarya. Then Asuya. Asuya means jealousy. And then Dambha. Dambha means hypocrisy. What is Dambha? Trying to show off people what actually you are not. Inside I am something, but I don't want to tell it to others. I pose as though I am something great. This is called as Dambha. So these are the 8 weaknesses in us. We have to win over them. So climbing this step means winning over these weaknesses. Then we have Tamas, Rajas, Sattva. So what is the tamasic mentality in us? Laziness, procrastination, trying to postpone things, no interest in anything. So all these things are tamasic. Tamasic means inactivity, our tendency to be inactive. So winning over that is winning over tamas. Then Rajas. What is Rajas? Selfish activity is called Rajas. I do all actions only for myself. I don't care about others. So winning over this Rajasic mentality. And the third one is Sattvic. What is Sattvic? Selfless activity, no doubt. He is performing action for the good of all, but with a sense that I am the one who is doing it. So win over that also. How to win over that? By saying that. So noble actions have to be done. Selfless actions have to be done. But with the attitude, Bhagavan, I am only an instrument. You are the doer, not me. So then you overcome Sattva also. Sattva binds by Jnana and Sukha. That's what Bhagavad Gītā says, 14th chapter. So egoistic Sukha, egoistic Jnana, you have to win over them. So you have to do good, no doubt. But doing good with the attitude that Bhagavan, you alone are the doer, not me. So without ego, when you do, then you are transcending Sattva also. Then what? Avidya. What is avidya? So here avidya means ignorance of the self. So how to transcend avidya? Only through vidya you can transcend avidya. So gain the knowledge of the self. Only through knowledge you can transcend ignorance. But after gaining the knowledge of the self, don't say that I am a very knowledgeable person. I am, that holier than thou attitude. Generally it comes. When you are a spiritual person, you tend to look down upon others who are non-spiritual, who are ignorant, etc. Don't do that. So going beyond vidya also. Let there be no ego of knowledge. That's the meaning, going beyond Vidya. So these are the 18 steps. And after 18 steps, you reach the ultimate. Now there is another version also for these 18. So Pancha Mahabhuta, Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, and Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara. So these are the 18. This is another version. Both are acceptable. So here what do? Here you transcend your personality. From the grosser personality, you go deeper, deeper, deeper into subtler personality, and finally you reach the ultimate. So this is another version. So Pancha Mahabhuta, the external, whatever you see, Pancha Mahabhuta, come within. So where do you come? Pancha Karmendriyas. Again come within, Pancha Jnanendriyas. Again come within, Manas, mind. Come within, intellect. Further intellect, Ahankara, which is the support of everything. Transcend this Ahankara, the ego, and then you are in front of the Sanctum Sanctorum. And the moment you reach in front of the Lord, what is written there? So you have the darshan of Ayyappa. And what is Ayyappa's message for you? The Ayyappa's message is Tat Tvamasi. Oh dear child, you have come all the way to have my darshan. Let me tell you, my real Vasasthana, dwelling place, is right in your heart. It is not somewhere outside. Tat Tvamasi means that you are. Naturally we ask, oh Lord, how can that be me? I don't see you in me. I see only this body, this mind, this intellect, this senses. So then Bhagavan says, no, I am that consciousness in you, that Makarajyoti in you, the light of consciousness. That light of consciousness in the light of which you are aware of everything. That light of consciousness which is witnessing your body, the mind, intellect, that light of consciousness, that is me. You see? So who is Bhagavan in us? Not the BMI, not the senses, but that awareness in us, the light of consciousness in us, because of which we are aware of everything. So this light of consciousness is symbolically represented as Makara Vilakku or Makarajyoti. It's a light. Consciousness is always compared with light. And that is why while doing Arati, what is the mantra we chant? Natatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So this is the mantra chanted when we do Arati to the Lord in the temple. Natatra suryo bhati, there the sun doesn't shine. Na chandra tarakam, not the moons, not the stars. Nema vidyuto kutoyam agnihi. So this pujari who is doing this puja, who is doing this arati, he is telling, oh Lord, you cannot be known by the light of the sun or the moon or the stars or the lightning. Then how foolish I am that I am trying to see you with this little firelight of mine. With this arati, I am trying to see you. What a fool I am. Oh Lord, Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. That shines, and in its light everything shines. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. In his light everything shines. Now see, consciousness is that light, in the light of which all the other lights are known, isn't it? How am I aware of sun? So that light of awareness is there. In that light I am aware of sun's light. So consciousness is compared with a light. Now what is the definition of light? Light is that in the presence of which things are known. This is how we will define light. Light is that in the presence of which things are known. Light is that in the presence of which things are known. If this is the definition of light, consciousness is light. So in the light we come to know things. In the same way, in the presence of consciousness we come to know everything. the color, the form, the sound, our thoughts. How do we know our thoughts? So in the light of consciousness, we are conscious of our thoughts, we are aware of our thoughts. So this consciousness is a kind of light. So this is symbolically represented by that Makarajyoti. So this Jyoti is not somewhere outside which we have to see. They are all symbolic. Real Jyoti is a light of consciousness within. Now this Jyoti, it is not something which happens only on January 14, etc. Every moment this Jyoti is there, isn't it? Being aware of this Jyoti is real spirituality. All the time, being aware of this Jyoti is real spiritual living. 24/7 that Jyoti is there. Isn't it? It is in that light of consciousness that I am able to speak. And it is in that light of consciousness you are able to listen. And you are able to understand. Everything is happening in that light of consciousness. So Bhagavan is always with us. This is the true Ayyappa darshanam. Tat Tvamasi, when Ayyappa says, what does it mean? I am already there in you. I am that consciousness in you. Be aware of my presence in you as this consciousness. This is the message. So this is true Ayyappa darshanam. Okay. So this is symbolically represented by that 41 days of doing vrata, etc. It has its own significance. And people who really follow this as best as they can, you will find there is material progress in them. Everything good happens in their life at the material level also and at the spiritual level also. And people who go regularly, they stick to these disciplines. In them you will clearly find there is, all these virtues increase, devotion, dispassion, knowledge. And they truly understand the meaning of these scriptures. And thus they become a sincere spiritual seeker. So, I think I have covered almost whatever I knew. So I sincerely invoke the grace of the Lord and blessings of the entire Guru Parampara. May we also attain that highest knowledge, attain that light of knowledge, which is the symbolism of all this sadhana. May we truly put forth effort in that right direction, understanding the essence of spirituality.
Hari Om Swamiji. Swamiji, I wanted to ask you about this number 41 days. Is there any specific reason for this number? Why not 30 or 45 or 60? Why 41 specifically? That's the first. And second, as a woman, obviously, I will ask you about, your, explanation on why, women don't go to Shabarimala, and, Bhagavan has said everybody is priyam for him. So why women should not get moksham? Why women should not, cross the 18 steps and reach the moksha? Of course, I have my own understanding of it, but I want to know your perspective
What is your understanding? What is your understanding?
Swamiji, my understanding, one, as a woman, especially in those particular ages, as a mother, especially, the dharma is service. It is very difficult for a woman of a house to stay away for 41 days. The house will collapse. A mother cannot do that. It's easier for a father to do that. And second, physically also taking such an arduous journey, carrying weight, it's not physically practical for a woman to do it. So maybe a woman has, other means and methods of withdrawing onto herself and finding God than following this path, which is probably meant for others who have, other limitations. So I feel, and then the other part is, in those days, maybe this was the only time that women also got some rest, when the troublemakers are out of the home, self-disciplining themselves. the woman gets some peace. So I'd like to believe that Bhagavan wanted this, to give us some rest and to assure us that no, you have different other ways of reaching me. That is my understanding. But I wanted to understand your perspective. And
Yes. See, just imagine these devotees are not, what we call that, advanced seekers or anything. You just imagine millions of people are coming there. You see, have you observed when you fast, when you don't take food on a particular day, your mind revolves around food only? Have you observed? This is the nature of the senses. Whenever you tell your sense organs, don't do this, those sense organs will force the mind to think only that. When you don't take food, mind craves for food. Isn't it? In the same way, now all these devotees have with great difficulty suppressed their sexual urges. They are not going to their wives also, because that is the rule. You have to practice brahmacharya. And with great difficulty he is doing it, because it's not easy, because they are all ordinary people. And now just imagine if millions of followers, if you allow women also. So what will be the condition of this man? He is like that fasting person who is surrounded by all delicious food. You understand? So knowing this human weakness, our Rishi Munis, they knew that if he is surrounded by all these women, instead of meditating on Ayyappa, he will meditate on Ayyamma only. Appa will be gone, only Amma will be there. You understand? This is a human weakness. Yes, for an advanced seeker, fine, it's possible. He can, withdraw the mind and fix it upon the Lord. It is possible for him because he has done a lot of sadhana. Indriya nigraha is there, no problem. But an ordinary man who is struggling with great difficulty, he has done it. And is surrounded by all these things. There is all the possibility he will get totally distracted. And therefore, he will not be able to meditate on God. He will pollute his mind. So therefore, our Rishi Munis, out of compassion for us, has made this law. We have to understand this. Though it is said, Ayyappa is a Naishtika Brahmachari, he doesn't want to see. See, I'll tell you one thing. Bhagavan is a Lord. He has no problem in seeing a man or a woman. He has no problem. But we are human beings. We have our limitations. So just like as far as a fasting person is concerned, it is better to keep away from food, keep away from kitchen. In the same way, a person who is controlling his urges, natural biological urges, it is always better to keep man and woman away. It's a very practical decision and is a right decision also. Now, the second part of your question. Why this partiality towards women? Now, please, Amma, understand one thing. In our scriptures, the sadhana meant for ladies is totally different. Sadhana meant for men, it is different because their natures are different. So that is why we find so many stories. So these ladies, we don't say you have to take sannyas and no, it is not necessary for them. It is not necessary. Their job is only one. Take care of the husband, take care of the children, fulfill the responsibilities in the household as a worship of the Lord. This is all what is needed for them. And they can attain the same greatness which an ordinary tapasvi gets it by doing his tapas. The same greatness an ordinary woman can attain by serving her husband and children. The only thing is that service has to be considered as a worship of the Lord. So many such stories are there. In Mahabharata, I am sure you must have heard that story. That Kaushika, that ascetic, he was doing tapas in the forest. then some crane or something. Then he looked at the crane and then he burned that crane into ashes. Then with great sense of pride, he went for Bhiksha. Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. He went to one house. That lady was not coming out. It took some time. And this person became impatient. And after some time, this lady came out and he was full of anger. You know what that lady said? Lady said, I'm not that crane that you can just look at me and burn me down. This ascetic was stunned. He said, how did you know what had happened in that deep forest? So then that lady says, by serving my husband. I came late because I was serving my husband. By serving my husband, I have attained to that state. So there are so many such stories in the scriptures which says that for a woman, all these are not necessary. So it is not necessary for you to go to Shabarimala. See, there are so many sadhanas. This is one among many sadhanas. What is basically spiritual sadhana? You have to conquer your mind. You have to conquer the inner enemies in the mind. This, there is no choice. Everyone has to do. Winning over kama, krodha, etc. There is no choice. All of us, we have to win over this. But it is not necessary that you have to go to Shabarimala and climb that 18 steps. That is not necessary. But winning over the negativities, it is necessary. So let us know what is the essentials in spirituality. Knowing the self, it is necessary. Destroying the ego, it is necessary. You have no choice. Whether you are a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. You have no choice. Whether you are a sannyasi or a grihastha, you have no choice. You have to do this. So external lifestyle choice is yours. But the path, destruction of ego, conquering the mind, etc., there is no choice given to any of us. So therefore, many paths are there. Shabarimala is one path. It is not necessary that. So therefore, if such a law is made, it is better we stick to that law. Because there are so many other paths also. If they say, no, this is the only path, then yes, it is definitely, it is wrong. But it is not so. There are so many paths. This is one among many paths. And for women, there are other paths given. So this is the path given by the scriptures. You serve your husband. Pati Parameshwara, it is said. That husband may have so many defects, so many weaknesses. But if you serve that husband as though you are serving the Lord, then you will attain the highest. That husband may remain an idiot person, but you will attain the highest. There are so many such stories. There is one lady, I don't remember the name. So this lady was married to this husband, and this husband was a womanizer, and he had all kinds of bad habits. And later on, he was suffering from leprosy also, Kushtaroga. And this lady, she was such a, what do you call that, Pativrata Stri, that whatever he eats, only whatever remains from that, remnants only she used to eat, and she used to eat like prasadam. This way she used to treat her husband. And one day what happened, this husband was sitting outside, and there one lady passed. She was, a famous prostitute in that locality. Very beautiful lady. And this man was attracted to this lady. And he felt that I must go and meet her. Now this man, he could not walk. Physically, he was a handicap. So then he expressed his desire to his wife. I want to go and be with her. So this lady said, okay. And that night, she put him on a basket, carried him to her house. And as she was carrying, one great sage was coming from the other side. Now this person's leg was hanging outside the basket. Okay. So while crossing, his leg touches the body of that sage. And that sage curses. Tomorrow, when the sun rises, your body will, you will die. Then this lady said, no, he is my husband. Please don't curse like that, this, that, etc. So what is the curse? Tomorrow, as the sun rises, your husband will die. So then this lady said, no, please don't do that. Please, I seek forgiveness from all this. This says a nothing doing, and he walked away. Now this lady said, if my love towards my husband is true and genuine, tomorrow the sun will not rise. See the power of, Pativrata Dharma. She said, tomorrow sun will not rise if my love for my husband is true. Now you can just imagine, if the sun doesn't rise, the whole cosmos will collapse. So then Anasuya comes. She is another great Pativrata lady. Anasuya comes and says, this lady, Amma, please don't do this. It will be a problem for everyone. Let the sun rise. And once your husband dies, I, with my, the power of Pativratya, I will bring him back to life. So then, that's how the whole matter settles. Now, the point is this. What is the point? If a lady can do her job, what is her job? Not going outside and wearing all this kashaya vastra and rudrakshas are not necessary. You remain at your own home. What is your job? Giving values to the children, taking care of your house, taking care of your husband, taking care of your in-laws. If you can do it lovingly, ensuring that there is peace and harmony in the family, if you can do that, remember, it's a great, great tapas. It's not an ordinary thing. To serve everyone and make everyone happy, to ensure that there is peace and harmony in the family. Now see, a woman's life is a life of sacrifice only. Entire life, if you see, she is just an embodiment of sacrifice. And that is why in India, a woman's status is not wife status, it is mother status. You will find Indian culture, a woman is not seen as a wife, an object of pleasure. No, a woman is seen as mother. Now what is mother? An embodiment of sacrifice, embodiment of love, embodiment of compassion, embodiment of forgiveness, embodiment of patience, embodiment of all virtues. This is how we see a woman in India. That is our Indian culture. Now this is not something which somebody will give you. You have to win it. How to win it? Your life must be a life of sacrifice and service, of love, of patience. When you do this, naturally others will confer you this title of motherhood. So this respect and reverence you have to gather through a life of sacrifice and service. So the entire Grihasthasrama is designed to help us evolve spiritually. So a woman's responsibilities, a woman's role is very much different from a man's role. So for everywhere, you need not compete with man. Oh, you are doing it, I will also do. No. Man and woman should be complementary to each other, not competing with each other. It's a very big mistake that, the modern time ladies, they are doing. It is absolutely wrong. A woman is designed to conquer through love, not through force. She's designed that way. She's designed to conquer through love. Very important. If this can be done, you see today, so much of diverse cases are happening. Why? Once upon a time, this was never the case. 20, 30 decades back, we never had these divorce cases so much. Why these divorce cases are happening so much? This is the reason. Man and woman, they are fighting and competing. You are not meant to fight and compete. You are meant to cooperate with each other. Yes.
Hari Om Swamiji, Pranam. At the outset, thank you very much for this blissful session and a very different perspective. I was also going to ask the same question that Purnaji asked about that 41 days thing, but without digressing from the topic, we see in this world there are different religions, and if you see in Islam, there is this period of holy month of Ramadan, 30 days, where they fast and do all this, but in a different, in their own way. Similarly, in Christianity, there is that holy month of Lent, where also they do the fasting and abstain from certain eating non-veg and all that of thing. So now through your session, I understood that the purpose is the same. That is that the coming or conquering our ego and understanding or realizing the consciousness in us. So just wanted a affirmation from you that it is the same, because we are living in this world and we are seeing this all along. So just we tend to compare. So wanted your view on this.
Yes. So it is the same thing. It is the same. Our enemies are the same. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu, it doesn't matter. Our enemy is the ego. Our enemy is kama, krodha, etc. So to conquer this is real spirituality.
Yeah. The only thing, because the question arose because of that difference of 30 and 41, because in that two religion, 30 days.
In fact, let me tell you, it is neither 30 nor 41. It is lifelong.
Yeah.
It is lifetimes long. That is better. It is not lifelong. It is lifetimes long. Means what? Life after life, we have to follow this discipline. So why 41 days or 30 days is, they just wanted to give you a taste of it.
Yeah.
You know, how to tempt you. So they will give you a taste. At least 30 days, 40 days you do and see how it is. If you like it, then again the fellow will do. You see?
So it's like a trailer before the picture.
Exactly. It's a trailer. It's just giving you a glimpse of the higher, so that you are inspired to walk the path towards the higher.
Hari Om, Swamiji. Thank you very much.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari.
Dinesh ji.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
We are extremely thankful for the enlightening session with reference to the importance of sadhana in our life. It will be benefiting for all of us in the journey of life. So once again, we thank you very much for your presence, and we expect for you to help us further in our journey. Hari Om, Swami.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor ma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo. Hari Om.